We're at the media headquarters for the Super Bowl, and this is going to be a great show. We still remember Sunday was a great day, but before we look back at Sunday, we've got interviews with Brent Musburger. We heard from JohnShaw, heard from Ernie Conwell after the game. You saw the highlight package before we came on here, but we are in the media headquarters for the Super Bowl, and we want to show you around a little bit. Today's going to be a show where we give you the insides of the Super Bowl as we're in Atlanta, a two-part show, because next week, we're also here. And my main man, Master PA, yes, Jeff Hancock is there manning the camera. Jeff, how you doing? Good, good, good. Let's take a look inside. First of all, come along. Let's go. This is Radio Row here. This is where all the radio stations get together, and so that's kind of exciting. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. I don't know if you noticed here, we got the new Rams colors on the mic flag. We walk in, everybody's so friendly. How you doing?
Fine, sir.
Nice to see you. Thank you very much for all the hospitality here in Atlanta. This is the media headquarters of the Super Bowl. That's my new ride. I actually won that by, well, I won't tell you how I won it, but I did win it. Let's see who is walking around here. Actually, take a look here. This is Radio Row also. You see over there in the background on the phone, see back here, Jeff, the guy with the beard? That's Toward Balzer from KFNS. And did you check him out? You see him? Do you see each? And then right here in front of us is the man who does some work out in Columbia. His name's Vic Faust. He does a heck of a job, and we figured he's really the only guy we can find out here right now. I'm just joking. Vic, how's it going?
It's going great, Brad. Just having a blast here at Super Bowl.
How do you stay so tan when you live in Mizzou?
Well, I tell you what, it's not a tanning bed.
I think it is. I think you're a tanning bed guy.
Hey, when you become a married guy, you get to go on some vacations every now and then. Just got back from a honeymoon, buddy. That's how you get the tan, that Jamaican sun.
Well, how's everything going for you? I know you did a great job during the football season, and you got a new job now. What's going on with you?
I tell you what, Missouri football, it was a great time this year. Obviously, it wasn't the kind of result we were all looking for. You know, Missouri going to 2 straight bowl games. I mean, we were excited as could be. Thought the third year might go back, didn't happen, so that was, you know, a disappointment. However, it was fun from my standpoint of getting to do the radio, obviously, with Chris Trevino, Mike Kelly, and John Cadillac. So things were going well with that. And in the meantime, I just took over in Columbia at KMIZ, kind of a co-sports directorship with Rob Verby, who was the weekend guy. Chris Trevino transferred over to New Center 8. So we're having a blast down here at Super Bowl, covering the St. Louis Rams, and there's no better first assignment than coming to Atlanta to cover the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, you're a lucky dog. Well, Vic, good job as always. We're going to take a look around here at the Media Center. Thank you very much. Said Howard. Howard will be on the phone all day. He's the man. As you take a look, they've got the bunting and everything up here. This is where you get your credentials. It's pretty exciting over there. This is like a showroom in here, more radio stations. We won't go too deep in this, but just so you get a little look, here's kind of the headquarters. And now look at this, Jeff. You see that boat down there? What is that doing here? Didn't we beat them like big time on Sunday? That Buccaneer boat? What do you think? Didn't we beat them?
We killed him pretty good.
Yeah. Sternman, by the way, okay, come back to me, Jeff. We're directing on the fly here. Sternman couldn't be here. He wanted to be here, but he's the kind of guy who likes to watch the Super Bowl on the couch. You know his couch thing. This is just too much for him. He doesn't want to be down here. So I said, you know what? I'll come down. I'll do the dirty work for you. You stay home, watch it on the couch. Look for me. I'll do all the work, like usual. So, whatever. But let's go back to Sunday as we're talking about that big Buccaneer boat. I don't see like a ram walking around here with horns or anything. There should be like a little ram walking around just to pet. Everybody can pet it because they're going to win the Super Bowl. That's what it is. But let's go back to Sunday and take a look at some of the interviews we did after the game. Brent Musburger, JohnShaw, Ernie Conwell on the field, and much, much more. Let's take a look at that right now. And then when we come back, well, you know where we'll be.
First of all, 5 years ago, we kind of, right around this day, actually, we were pretty happy that you brought the Rams here. And they're here, and they're going to a Super Bowl 5 years later. Would you have ever expected anything like that?
Well, I bet you're happier now than you were 5 years ago.
No, that was better.
It was, huh?
That was pretty good. I think this is probably the first, and that was second.
I don't think anybody expected it this year, but the team caught on fire early on, and just it's been spectacular.
You took a lot of criticisms. Everybody's like, you know, what are we going to do? We keep going down in wins, and you really just stayed with a plan, and it worked. And just talk about how great you feel about this plan working.
Well, credit to all our players and to Coach Vermeil and the staff. We stayed the course, and we just caught on fire, like I said. It's really tough decisions in the offseason, good acquisitions for us, and Coach Vermeil did a great job.
And number one Dick Vermeil fan, Brent Musburger. I know you started coming around last year, and you're back this year to wish him luck.
Yeah, actually, I came to his first game, which they won when he was the head coach, and my son worked for him for a couple of years, and I've been coming. It could not happen nicer person than Dick Vermeil to be going back to the Super Bowl. He's just, you know, forget about the fact that he's an excellent professional coach, did a great job broadcasting. He's just one of the finest human beings I've ever known.
And you watch this team from afar. I mean, a lot of people were just so shocked to see what happened last week against the Minnesota Vikings. And what were your feelings as you talked to Dick, I guess, obviously, once a week or something? You know, you probably talked to him. What were your feelings about this team?
Well, Dick has felt for about half the season that they were special, that they could put points on the board. Now, they didn't show up particularly in the championship game because they were matched against, in my opinion, the best defense in the NFL right now. But I think Dick felt it coming. You know, and when Kurt Warner steps up and becomes a special quarterback for him. I mean, after the injury to Trent Green, I think the whole organization was devastated. But then Kurt steps in, gets a chance to play, and the rest is history. It winds up with one of those, you know, you talk about Cinderella. I've been around the NFL a long time, and I can't remember a story quite like this one ever.
Tell us, last question, the fans in St. Louis don't have any idea what a Super Bowl's like. We have no idea what winning football's like. So
really? You know what a Super Bowl's like? It's expensive. Tickets are scarce. People are on the road from Nashville going down there already. You know what I mean? But it'll be a great experience for the city. And this was a wonderful thing. It becomes a kind of an electric atmosphere. The first time you make it is always the best. Then if they get back a couple more, then they get jaded.
Yeah, about 3 more years of this, it's going to be.
Then it gets to be like San Francisco. It's got to happen every year. So, but right now it's very special for all the kids on the team. They did a great job.
Welcome back, and we're just pulling people left and right. You want to eat, I know, but it's Mitch Albom. We see on ESPN and everything else that you do. How's it going down here? How many have you covered? How many of these have you covered?
I've covered every Super Bowl since '83. So what's that? 17 in a row already.
This is going to be the most exciting, though.
Oh, thank you for telling me that. Good. Oh, good. I feel much better now.
Well, the Rams are going to win, and then you're going to come. They're going to be coming back every year. Right? I mean, do you have that feeling that this team? Let's talk about the Rams for just a second. Do you have that feeling that now that the Packers are down, the 49ers are down, is this the time for the Rams to maybe make a dynasty run, or is it too early to talk like that? I know they haven't won anything yet, but they do look like the dominant team.
Well, I've wondered if this was just one of those years where the dynasties took the year off and gave an opportunity to teams like St. Louis and Tennessee, and where I live in Detroit, they really feel like they missed an opportunity because this may be their only opening to get in. I think next year Denver's going to come back and they're going to be stronger again. I think Atlanta will come back and be stronger. Green Bay, I do think their problem was their coaching, and so if they get that straightened out, they'll be stronger again. So, I mean, St. Louis certainly has the makings of a good team for some time to come, but let's face it, they were 4-12 last year. Now they're in the Super Bowl, so you tell me which is the real year.
The Titans are a good team. Everybody knows they're on a roll. Just talk about them a little bit. They beat the Rams earlier. They have one up on everybody. Everybody said you can't beat a team 3 times, but they've pretty much passed every test.
When they won that game against Buffalo in that weird fashion, I said to myself, okay, this can go 2 ways now. Either that's one of those things where the team starts thinking, oh, we're meant to do this. This is our year. Nothing can hurt us. We're impenetrable. We're Superman. Look, we were supposed to lose that game and we didn't, and now we're going to win everything. Or they would come back the following week and just collapse because they weren't supposed to be there. Well, they obviously didn't collapse. They got stronger as they went along. So, I mean, I know you're in St. Louis, so I don't want to put a dark cloud over everything, but if I were picking a team that was on more of a roll right now in terms of believing in themselves, I think I'd have to say Tennessee, especially since the way St. Louis struggled in their game against Tampa.
So your prediction, points-wise, I know that the Rams have the line, but those lines don't mean anything, really.
I don't think anybody can establish a line on this game correctly because you don't have any experience factor, and I think that that's played into it in years past. I mean, when Denver had been there before, Green Bay had been there before, you always had to factor that in. You say, well, okay, allow for the fact that Elway knows what these games are like, or Brett Favre and those guys know what it's like. Everybody here is new, and so the pressure and the nerves part of it are enormously important, and so I would never make a prediction on a game like this. I've never seen how these guys react to this kind of pressure. I'd say Tennessee's on more of an emotional roll right now, but you can't deny St. Louis's talent. On pure paper, I'd probably pick St. Louis, but in terms of emotion right now, I'd probably go with Tennessee.
Mitch, thank you very much. Enjoy your bagel. We're going to go back to the Dome and check out some more of the Rams talking about the
you got to enjoy this. You got to live for the moment because you never know when you're going to make it back.
You had a chance and didn't get in. What was it like knowing that maybe that would be your last chance, and now knowing a couple years down the line you're back?
Now, you know, when I look back on it, and I'm sitting here now, I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get the opportunity to get here. But right now, you know, I'm happy to be here.
You had a good rushing day against these guys. Do you plan to do that again? I mean, that was one of your best days rushing-wise.
I plan to be as effective as I can in order to enable my team to win the ball game.
Always wanted to come to. Who would have thought I'd be doing a cover in the Rams, but it's media day here, and as you can see behind us, I don't know, Jeff, you want to just pan this way, there's millions of people, and they let us in anyway. They let I think, you know what? I wrote my credential request on a napkin from Morgan Street Brewery, and they let me in. So I think they're letting everybody in today. Even they'll let Jeff Hancock in today. But we might see a little bit from him. I might have him roam the crowd and ask questions of some of the players and see if we can get him on the stupidest question list, because that is the most fun thing, is to see who asks the goofiest questions. And I'm sure we'll hear a lot of that. So now, let's take a look and hear from some of the Rams here on Media Day at the Super Bowl.
Do a dance in the end zone. Big play, you know. Hopefully I'll be able to make some big plays on Sunday. It's going to be tough. Tennessee presents a challenge. They have the best offensive line, I think, that we faced all season long. And they have a great running back. They have some great coaches who present them with a great game plan, and, you know, it's going to be tough to make plays against them.
You think it's better that you've seen them already and you kind of know what they're going to do?
It can help you, you know, definitely to know how they attacked you that first ball game. I'm sure they've watched tape on us and probably see some different things that they can do against us, but, you know, we've seen some things that we can do against them different.
Went into a very hostile environment, and we didn't play smart football in the first quarter. But we managed to battle back and show a lot of poise, and a lot of grit, a lot of, you know, never give up, fighting this, and go out there and almost win the game. And at that point, I realized that we have something special in here, that we could be in Super Bowl someday.
Finding more beautiful women left and right. We found Ananda from MTV.
How you
You're
doing?
hanging with the Rams. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Working hard working. Same difference.
This is my MTV resume tape here. I'm gonna let's
You gonna
here,
audition
tell you what.
BBJ?
Hey Ananda, we got the Backstreet Boys coming up next. I can't wait for the new Millennium
I want it
Tour.
That way. Sure. Great.
I love that
How many
way.
albums did Millennium sell? You gotta
Oh
know that
my
kind of
goodness, like millions.
Millions.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't.
like
I don't
5,
listen to those
10,
guys. Let's talk about Aerosmith maybe.
Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah,
baby.
they're all right. They got into that. All right, that's cool.
That whole thing.
All right, was that good enough
That
to
was
get on
good.
TV?
I think so. Unfortunately, I don't hire. I would have hired you on the spot.
Let's hug for a second.
I can refer you to somebody to.
Turn the camera on. You got that? All right. What's going on? You guys enjoying this MTV out here at Super Bowl?
We're having a good time. This is the first time I've actually been down here to cover it. I think we came in last year and I was doing something else, so I'm really happy to be able to make it this time. And it's cool. Football is like my second favorite sport.
What's your first?
Basketball. Because my college roommate used to play it, and she was really good, and she kind of got me all into it. And so, I mean, she played in high school, not college, but still, it still counts. And that's the one I really understand. There's still some elements of football I just can't wrap my brain around right. But I'm going to get there. I'm going to be watching Sunday and try to be here and study it. You know what I'm saying? Analyze the field.
These guys like you. These guys, they want pictures of you.
Between them and the Titans, I'll be married at some point. If you're looking at today, actually.
Let's talk about how long is this Backstreet Boys going to last? Can we get rid of them in a year?
Actually, I think it's dying down just slightly. And, you know, music is a finicky industry anyhow. And anytime you have 14-year-old girls running things, the taste will change. And it is on its way. I think now 98 Degrees in Sync are getting their kind of moment.
Thank you.
Pivotal like turning point too. They're hitting apex, and then it's that flash in the dark, and then it's darkness again.
Okay.
So they've had a great run though.
I know you got to go to work to tell them to wrap it up, but I want to show you how to bob and weave. I've done it with Corey Holt. I've done it with
hold your mic so you can do it.
Ready? I've done it wrong
Go,
before. Here we go.
go.
Come on, show it. Do it. There it is. See? I've learned how to bob and weave.
I'm just trying to. This is my own bob and weave.
All right, let's take it back
This
down
ain't
to
a
the
weave,
field.
but that was.
That's a weave. Let's go down back to the field. Thanks, Ananda from MTV.
I'm in January right now, working. So.
One more question, Isaac's got it.
What do you expect to have on Sunday?
I don't know. I'm just going to go out and try to play my style of football, whatever happens, and try to get a couple here and there. Just try to play physical.
Is it fun to block for such an explosive offense the way Kurt and Marshall and the receivers have just exploded on everyone in the NFL this year?
Oh yeah, it's really fun because you never know at any given point in time we can score a touchdown. It's really explosive, and just to be a part of that offense.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Super Bowl, is this as exciting as it gets?
Yeah, I mean, this is big. The good thing for me is I've been able to be in some big bowl games in college. And this is really a similar environment for us. We won the national championship at Washington the year I was there. And, you know, it's similar. You come down, there's a lot of media, there's a lot of things going on. You're staying in hotels, things of that nature. So that's the only experience I can grab onto. And I know a teammate of mine, DeMarco Farr, played at Washington also. But, you know, this is going to be awesome. And just hearing this morning the magnitude of this game, 800 million people, maybe more, watching this football game. So that's going to be awesome, and guys are going to be, you know, impressed by that. And, you know, I think this whole week, guys are going to just continue to almost be at awe at all the things that are going on. And I think as the week progresses, it's going to get more and more intense. But by Sunday, you know, it's just going to be all business. And when that whistle blows and that ball's kicked off, you know, I think the only focus and attention and the only thoughts in our mind are going to be to get the job done.
So it's early week. This is the fun part. I mean, is this fun? I mean, all this stuff going on here, is this fun? And has Dick Vermeil, kind of like he's been saying, make the distraction a detraction? I mean, is that what's going on here?
Yeah, I think he does a great job with it. And I think part of it is because he has such a respect for the media. He's been in that business. He knows what's going on. And so he's done a great job really just briefing all the guys about what to expect, what's going on. And, you know, I think also the kind of quality of guys we have on this team. So we have guys that are good quality, I think, that are going to represent the city of St. Louis with class, the Ram organization with class, and the whole NFL with class. And so, you know, I think guys believe in that also and want to do that while they're here. So they want to give people the time of day to give them an interview and just really show the rest of the world what we were doing in St. Louis.
We know the Titans have one up on you guys, but that was just, it's pretty much preseason now when you look at it. This is the big deal here. But they're on a roll, and they've played 3 straight games, very tough games. You guys had the week off. What does that do, having that week off, even though they're on the roll, they've played that one extra game a little banged up too?
Well, you know, maybe it's taking a toll right now based on what happened last week when they get a couple guys that go down. And when you watch the game, they weren't big hits. They were kind of just fluke. You know, what happened? You watch the video, you can't even hardly tell what's going on. And I think a lot of that's just, you know, the process of the year. This has been a long year. We've been playing football since July. We were in camp, and we've been going nonstop since then. So it takes a toll on the body. You know, you take a lot of pounding on your feet, on your ankles, your knees, your shoulders, your neck. And so especially this time of the year, this late in the season, when you can get a bye week, you know, it's amazing how much the body can repair itself in a week. And not just your body, but also just your emotions and your mental psyche. And so, you know, I think that can only be an advantage for us. But, you know, all bets are off come Sunday. You know, if you can't get up for this game, then you shouldn't be playing. So their adrenaline's going to be pumping. You know, guys are going to be psyched up and just, you know, just off the charts when they come out on the field. So, you know, that's going to kind of, you know, put itself aside, except for maybe the injury factor.
Give me some Joe Namath. Guarantee us a victory in St. Louis.
Well, you know what? It's just not my style. I can't guarantee anything. All I can guarantee is that the city of St. Louis is going to get the best effort that the guys have on this team. And I can guarantee that everybody's going to come out and we're going to leave it all on the field.
Well, we appreciate all your help. And by the way, next week, Ernie Conwell's home movies will be a part of Sports Talk Weekly. You're getting some shots of everything. What have you gotten so far in the first 2 days here?
Just a little bit of stuff on the bus, really just coming in here today. And, you know, I'm probably talk to a few friends, some of the guys, and then maybe a function that I go to, a practice facility, and then I'm probably going to get maybe some stuff on game day itself, and hopefully a victory party afterwards, and maybe a little bit of a victory parade back home.
Well, we appreciate you letting us show that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
I'm back here. Let me back up. Let me back up right here. Look, you did it. You shuffled it. Here's the idea. One more shuffle. I think I'm going to get it. Ready? I'm going to back up, back up. Done. Marshal, I know this sounds crazy. I threw him at the sign. Will you stand up? Right on the sign? Go ahead. Reach behind the sign. Right up there on the right, I think it hit. The top right. Go ahead. Right behind there should be a card that's stuck there.
That's damn good.
You do magic like that on a Sunday?
I wish.
Who I could probably actually catch a pass from. It's Jim Kelly. And Jim, you've been in this atmosphere before. What's this like for these players who are sitting here taking all these questions?
Well, it's everything they've been working for ever since they were a little kid. Majority of these players have never been in this situation. They may never get a chance to be in this situation. But more importantly than just the players, it's the fans. They get to enjoy it now because Tennessee, St. Louis, they have never really experienced what it's like to be at a Super Bowl and be cheering for your home team. Yeah, there's people that have been there to cheer for other teams, but it's nice to see because now they know what some of us have been through to come here and what our fans have been through and what we were able to cheer for. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most people. Very low percentage get to make it back 2, 3, like we did 4 times. So I hope they enjoy it, but realize you have to stay focused.
How's this game shaping up to you? What do you think?
Yeah, I always have to look at both sides, and it's a hard one to pick because of the short schedule. No bye week this week; it's right into the game. But the way I look at it, I give a slight edge to the Rams, and there's so many different scenarios I could take. But I got to pick somebody, and I've gotten to talk to Kurt Warner a lot this year, and I love the way he goes about the game. I love his whole story, and I wish him the best. And you look at McNair. Not many people are counting him in, never count him out.
Let's talk your last question. You're in the media. You have to go through this. You're like a player here today because everybody's asking you.
Talk to people more than players. But hey, I don't mind. I love being around. And yeah, you get asked so many weird questions, sometimes stupid questions, but that's part of it. Everybody has to have their angle.
Thanks. Jim Kelly,
You're
Buffalo
welcome,
Bills, television show, can find media anywhere. And we've got guys from Germany here. It's Gunter and Felix. And guys, let's start with you say that Gunter over here is the expert on...
He is definitely. He is the star.
You're the star of the show. What do you guys do over there in Germany?
I'm a announcer, basically. And I live very well in the most beautiful city of the world, Munich.
Munich, Germany. I've never been there, but I'm sure it's beautiful. What do you guys? What's your story here today? What's the aim? What's your goal? What's your goal of Media Day?
The circus, the zoo, whatever you call it, it's amazing what's going on. And it almost seemed that the players are not that important than anybody else.
Felix, what's your function?
My function is like everything, I would say. I do the little stories. I write the scripts. I do some speech on the little stuff. But he is the commentary. He does the game. Yeah, that's basically it.
Have you guys been following the St. Louis Rams over there?
We're following the whole season. Yes, we have like 4 games a week.
So you guys get the NFL out there, I guess.
Right. Right.
What will you guys be doing? I guess you're here all week. So what do you guys? What's the week like for you here in Atlanta?
Basically, I think for everybody else, we came from the St. Louis and Jacksonville game, arrived yesterday. Today, got the credentials, go here, and then there's a lot of press conference, and we editing together all the pieces like everybody and get ready for the big game on Sunday.
Now, obviously, I'm not from Germany. Are you guys like big time, or are you like me, just a little cable sports guy? I mean, you kind of like the ESPN of Germany, or you kind of, what do you guys do?
Yeah, the #1 sports channel, but obviously football is not the #1 sports. But it's the biggest station in Germany.
What's the #1 song in Germany right now?
The #1 song?
Yeah.
I would say it's Stefan Raab Maschendrahtzaun.
That's one of my favorites.
Of course.
Do you guys, I know this song came over from, I think it was France, Eiffel 65, that Blue Dabadi.
They are from Italy.
Yeah. Now, how old is that song? Because it's one of my favorites now, but we just got it a couple months ago.
It's about half a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a new song right now.
So we should be looking for that maybe in 2005, 2006 over here in the States.
Something about that.
Guys, we thank you very much for joining us. I feel a privilege that I'm with the ESPN of Germany. Do you guys watch ESPN? Do you get ESPN over there?
Yes, we got the ESPN satellite and cover a lot of their games.
That's great. Guys, thank you very much. It's just telling you there's so many people here and so little time. So let's go back to the field and check out what the Rams checking out the Super Bowl action. What is this like coming into this season and being a part of this team?
This is great. I mean, this is what you you play the game for, and to be able to be a rookie and come into a situation like this, it doesn't happen very often. So I'm just soaking it all in and trying to enjoy it and hopefully come back some other time.
How many tickets do you leave?
I got 15, so and they got used up real quick by my family. So I think it's a good thing that I got them used and don't have to worry about it anymore.
Were you thinking of scalp them and all?
I wasn't. No, I mean. I knew my family would use them, and that's what they're for too. I know this is something that we love to watch every year, and for them to have an opportunity to come and be a part of it, that's why you get them.
Being a backup to Kurt Warner, you know what happened to him. He came out of nowhere, and that's something that, do you see as maybe something that could happen for you if you decide maybe to go travel and do something like that, or do you feel like you have a future here?
Well, hopefully I do have a future here, and that's what I'd like to do. I'd love to stay in St. Louis and keep building on that, because I really like the organization and team here. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I haven't. I was lucky to play at Ohio State, which is a big program. We went to a lot of bowl games and had a lot of media there. But this is the pinnacle of the sport of football. So this is what it's all about.
That's Joe Germaine on Sports. We're going to wrap up another edition of Sports Talk Weekly. We bought ourselves some new equipment, so that's the camera we use today. Exciting. You know, when you get into the Super Bowl, they just give you stuff. I got a great bag, got some great interviews, and I got a hug from Ananda. And me and her. Tell you what, let's just wrap the show up right now. Let's don't think about me bobbing and weaving because I look like an idiot again. I don't know why I continue to do that when I know I can't. I've been told by many people, but that's all right. It's Super Bowl weekend. This is part one. Next week, we'll be back in Atlanta. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl. We'll have everything you'll need to know about the Rams in the Super Bowl. And then Tuesday, we'll go to the Super Bowl party, the parade downtown, down Market Street. Yes, that's right. We have a parade planned and 50,000 strong. So next week, also a great show. You know where to watch. We got the Sports Talk Weekly logo looking good now. It's got the yellow and blue for the Rams. That's going to do it for today's show.